As the industry leader, MBS offers this exclusive webinar to you, which we hope will offer some novel new ideas and defensive strategies which each of you in your stores may use to overcome and defeat those e-tailers and rogue buyers out there. And in so doing, successfully continue marketing to your target audience. What better sources than from among your very own colleagues to find better ideas? Thus, we have 4 great individuals today who will impart just a small portion of their great wisdom and ideas. Allow me to introduce the first of these guest speakers today, Patrick Sorrell, Director of Phoenix Bookstore at the University of Wisconsin, Green Bay. I think they play football there. Patrick has been in the business for 28 years. He is currently at the present store for 25 years. The first 3 years, he was at Northern Michigan as a soft goods buyer under Dick Harvick, whom many of you may know. Patrick's gig is, how do we continue to renew ourselves each year? How do we make ourselves better? Not by just looking at what's going on in the industry in general, but what's going on in Green Bay? And how do I run a more effective business? Welcome, Patrick Sorrell.
Good afternoon from Green Bay, Wisconsin. Glad to be here. Again, my name is Patrick Sorrell. I'm from the Phoenix Bookstore. We serve the University of Wisconsin, Green Bay. Our store serves about a campus of about 6,000 students. We have about 2,000 students on campus. As Dave mentioned, as you all know, they play football here in Green Bay, Wisconsin. You know, this time of year, the Green Bay community has kind of got a football theme. So what I'd like to do is kind of stay on that football theme. My first topic is keeping rogue buyers off your campus. Keeping with the football team, I like to think of my campus store as having a home field advantage. And now I'm going to start talking about playing a little bit of defense. Most campuses have a variety of rules that can and should be enforced. I'm somewhat of a storyteller, so I'm going to tell my first story. It's about our campus solicitation policy. Just a few weeks ago, we had a rogue desk copy buyer soliciting our faculty. Luckily, I'm friends with a few faculty members who shot me the email from the rogue buyer, which gave me the date and time that they'd be on campus. I took it upon myself to notify security, and as that individual was coming on campus, I knew what building she was going into, and she was met there with myself and campus security. She was notified that of the solicitation policy, and she was escorted off campus. It's a very effective way of enforcing a non-solicitation policy. My next story is about kind of enforcing your campus littering laws. We had a rogue buyer in a van at a local gas station off campus. They completely covered all of our student vehicles with their buyback flyers. I therefore met with our Director of Residence Life and Police Services and instructed, and notified them what these buyers were doing, which of course is a violation of the littering law on campus. Security was reluctant to help, so I took it upon myself to meet with the Director of Security and Residence Life, and I told them, if you're going to not enforce this law for this rogue buyer, that I would print about 10,000 of those little flyers and spread them all over campus. And they began to pay attention after that because I told them, you'll be mowing them up in the spring if you don't enforce the law right now. Our campus security went over to the owner of the gas station, not the book buyer, but over to the owner of the gas station, and instructed them about the littering laws, and that was much more effective and really got people's attention. As far as working with others on campus, you really got to make people aware of your buyback. Examples on my campus, we work with our food service director that helps us with all kinds of different promotions. We had a monster promotion recently for our buyback. They could come in and get a coupon for a free Monster drink. Our IT department, we have them put our buyback screensavers up on all campus computers during buyback. Our local credit union puts on our buyback screensaver on all the ATMs on campus. And we're fortunate enough to use our university ticketing, and they put our buyback dates on the back of all of our ticket stubs that are printed in December and May. So there's lots of mutual benefit that can happen if you talk with other folks. Let's see. My next slide is what has Amazon done for you lately? Really, what we see here is a good example of some of the signs that are beginning to crop up all over campus. Amazon is beginning to affiliate themselves with virtually anybody that will get them on campus and get their message out. A quick story here at Green Bay. Amazon advertises in our student newspaper, as I'm sure they've done to many of my other stores out there. Amazon also sent large posters with their advertising request. Our student newspaper just put the posters up for free. And again, what has Amazon done for this campus lately? We identified who put the posters up and asked them to take them down, and they had no problem with that. And as I instructed folks in the meeting, Amazon did not contribute the $1.8 million towards the union renovation that we had done recently. So ask the questions, what is the university getting from your store? So time now to turn to some offensive strategies. Again, remember, you've got home field advantage. Let's talk first, as we do so often in my operation, convenience, convenience, convenience. About 2 years ago, the number one question that was asked in my store is, can we put our books on financial aid? About a year ago, we installed the MBS student financial aid package. That allowed us to charge books onto the student accounts. Last year was our first full year. We put over $1 million on student accounts. This fall, as of today, we've already charged $725,000, which is a 20% increase. The bottom line, folks, Amazon cannot do this. This program also saved us over $14,000 in swipe fees. Let me talk briefly about a program that I'm very proud about. It's our textbook reservation program. It's called Easy Books. You see the logo on the right side of your screen. In June, during our freshman orientation, I speak to freshmen and their parents, and you can hear a pin drop in the room when I say, be careful what you buy on the internet. I saved $20, but I didn't have the CD I needed. I paid half price, but I didn't have the software code I needed. So the bottom line is, for us, we make it the easiest method for students to get their books. We also have a tagline, as you see, it's called The Right Books Guaranteed. We fill their white Easy Book box with the right books, and that's important to the parents as well as the students. We charged over $600,000 this fall to the student accounts prior to our rush starting. Returns were down significantly, and we did about 2,000 pre-orders for a campus of 6,000, and our goals are to increase those numbers. The Easy Book logo that you see on the right is used everywhere. We put it on Frisbees, T-shirts, water bottles. We promote until they get sick of looking at that. And finally, when they pick up their box, we include a form to sign up for the next semester. Our students absolutely love this program, and it's one that's been very well received, and one that we know we will have to continue to make room for in the near future. For the program, we also cross-sell, and you can see that we also cross-sell. You'll see now the form on the right side of the page. That's the form that they sign up, and we put that into the box so they can actually sign up for the program for the next semester. We also cross-sell. If you read that carefully, we pre-sell about 100 backpacks, and we get connected packs. So there are also things that are non-textbook that people appreciate having. So in summary, I say take advantage of your home field advantage. Remember, it's just as important to play defense as well as offense. Get aggressive, but most of all, have a lot of fun doing it. Best of luck to all of you. Thanks for listening, and I'll turn it back to Dave to introduce the next speaker.
Thank you, Patrick. It is important to play offense as well as defense. Next up, we have Stacy Elfier. She is director of University Bookstore at Towson University in Towson, Maryland. Stacy has started in retail and has been in the retail and the college industry for more than 20 years. She was associate director at Loyola University and then director at American University, Washington, D.C. She's presently been at Towson University for more than 2 years. Stacy's idea is you can't wait for someone to tell you what to do. Talk to the resources on campus, talk to your campus community, and there are so many resources out there. Once you make your move, you make a decisive one. We give you Stacy Elfier.
Hi, Dave. Thanks so much for that introduction and for telling everybody that, I've been in the business for 20 years. I appreciate that. I am in Towson, and I'm at Towson University, and that's near Baltimore, if you don't know it. We're a university store. We serve about 22,000 students, so we're very busy. I guess when I was trying to focus on what my portion should be, because I'm all over the place, there's all kinds of things that you can do, I wanted to focus on how we change the perception of the students on campus. How do you partner with them to maximize your course material business, all of your business, but in specific your course material business? Well, when looking at it, I thought the answer walks through your door every single day. Your students punch a time clock. They come in and buy drinks and snacks. They bring their parents to buy a new T-shirt. And let's not forget that they at least come in and look at your textbooks. We, as service people, can't just open the doors and not speak with our guests. They have the vital information that we are searching for. Our university store is not only located in the village, and I think if you look at this first slide, it says it takes a village. Your community is what sets you apart from the competition. We are not only located in the village, we are part of the village. So we need to work together. Volunteer to assist with departments and events. Even if you're not going to get a financial return, the PR is, the returns are amazing. And the more that you're involved, then the more that they see you and the more that people come to you. Poll your students individually and in groups. I speak to my employees daily, student employees. We do a thing in the fall. We allow them to choose a piece of clothing to wear. This is their caveat. Only one person can pick one piece of clothing. They have to wear it, and they have to tell people where they got it. And most important of all, they have to really like it. It costs me a couple $100, and I get so much goodwill and PR, and for every student that works for me, and we employ over 60 students a year. For every employee that works here, when they are feeling good about their job, they have 5, 10, 15, 20 friends. And I've seen an increase in my job applications, which I think is a good indicator of a positive. Model your floor and services to reflect the wants and needs of the clientele. I mean, we're servicing the school. They're not here for us. And if you can listen and act and capitalize on what they're leading you to, then you'll see many, many returns. We're doing a Faces of Towson marketing campaign this year, and what that is we've been taking pictures of, and if we go to the next slide, you can see some of the pictures. All of the people on this slide are faculty, staff, kids of staff, kids of alumni, and they're all modeling our clothing, which is really cool, and you've got the Towson message all over the place. But these are actual Faces of Towson posted on Facebook. We'll be using some of them in our yearly catalog. We are going to do in-store candid pictures. We have a card made with a QR code that takes you right to our Facebook site. And when you use that QR code, you can friend us, and then you'll be able to see your pictures. We're taking a tour out on the campus and grab friends or anybody that are wearing Towson gear and take a picture. And it's been really cool, and we're going to continue it the rest of the week. So this is just another way for us to connect with our campus. And who better, to promote the store than to use the people that are already there. I mean, it's pretty easy. People like to go online. They like to come in the store. Some of the posters that we have hanging in the store are of actual students. I could get marketing materials from our vendors that have lifestyle posters, but we've chosen to take, and this particular gentleman in this picture, this is his son, and he has won the National Teachers Award and is an alumni of Towson. And so we were able to get him to come in and bring his son in and take some pictures, and I just think that that's awesome. We are also fortunate to have an art services department that coordinates with me, and we really use them as a terrific resource. And we have a lot of marketing and art students that we use also. So I think when you look under rocks, you're going to find a lot of different resources that won't cost you a lot of money. Social media, gosh. So yes, we are on Facebook. What I've done, we have more than one administrator because you can't watch it all the time. It gets too exhausting. But we do have a site, and you have to monitor the site often in order for you to make an impact. We also, having more than one administrator, are able to respond right away. And this is a really cool example that they pulled up, that I actually have students contacting us on Facebook with questions, and not just about sweatshirts, but as you can see here, about textbooks. And she sent us this message at 12:41. We responded at 12:50. And if you'll read our response, I mean, we're trying to, speak in direct language, just as if we were having a conversation. And then obviously she's watching, because at 12:51 she responds back and thanks for your help. This is just one example of some of the communication that we've had. The other thing is to be engaging, and I read that and people tell you you have to be engaging, but that's sometimes easier said than done. And at first, we start out with like 10 friends and thought, oh gosh, how do we get more friends? One of the things we've done, besides putting pictures up now, to engage the students is this Winter Prize Wednesday. So we just started it back up in the fall a couple weeks ago, and I had somebody send me, they actually posted on our site, when are we doing Winter Prize Wednesday? So they are communicating, and as illustrated here in this slide, I mean, in 32 minutes we had 21 comments. That's actually very low. We had a contest last week, and I think we had 150, 160 comments that all happened within less than an hour. So I really love the interaction. And I'm going to tell you a secret. I do go on and friend probably many of you that are listening, either personally or as the university store. And I do stalk you, and I do steal things, or I guess you could say I borrow things. And I suggest everybody do that. Steal ideas from the best of your peers, and feel free to steal anything from our site. I go on your websites and I look at your graphics and I look at how you're doing things, and incorporate that in our day-to-day business and how it will work for us. So now we cruise to textbooks. All of this, I mean, I think I told somebody the other day, textbooks is not very sexy. I mean, sweatshirts and Facebook is kind of fun. So how do you make your textbooks sexy and incorporate that in all of this? Well, I think that if you hit at all angles, and I think the last presenter, that was a really good suggestion, is the offense and the defense. I mean, that's really what we're doing, is you have to hit at all angles. And so we wanted to showcase all of the options that we offer. New, rental, used, ebook, and again, partnering with Art Services to give this really great poster. And we've used it in ads, and we have it in our windows, and we have it on every end cap, and we put it on our Facebook. And it really illustrates the many very huge options that we have for students. It showcases all that we do in all our many ways. Last year we hit the rental road pretty big, and we went from 2 titles in the summer of 2010 to over 650 titles with over 10,000 books rented this fall and counting. So it's been really successful, and we'll continue to incorporate anything that's new. But it's not where it stops. By letting your customers know that you offer every option available, you're showing them your value and proving your worth. Consistently, over time, delivering again and again and again. And then one other thing is this Dare to Compare. This is a new ad. We've partnered with MBS, and they also have this great thing with Verba with comparison shopping. So we know that everybody price compares, whether it be you looking for the cheapest, bottle of milk, or a student looking for textbooks. And if you're going to be transparent in price comparison, it's just another way to prove your value to the students and faculty. And let's not forget the faculty, because if they tell the students to buy their book from the store, more than likely they will come here. And there are faculty members that will say, go to Amazon, it's cheaper. So if you've proven your value to your students and your faculty, it's gonna be a win-win. Build trust with your customers and provide a service while capturing at least some of the business. And if they go to Amazon and you've partnered with them, at least you're going to get a small percentage if they go right from your website. And you're also making it easier for them that they don't have to shop around for many different sites. I did want to say it was really cathartic this year. I mean, we've got the Dare to Compare ad, and we're very transparent, and this is on our website, and we've got posters and ads and all of that. You can go right on our website, and it'll tell you all the prices that everybody has. But it was really fun helping a customer this fall, And, you know, they say, oh, but I can get it from Amazon cheaper, or from Barnes & Noble, or from Chegg, whatever it may be. And for me to just release myself and say, go ahead, check it out. Go ahead, it's right there. In fact, here's my computer terminal. Let's go on, and I'll even help you check it out. No being upset that they're throwing it in your face, but just really saying, here it is, and be transparent and make it easy. I think that goes a long way. In the future, we're going to be putting, or try to put QR codes on the shelf tags, taking students directly to the website, to that particular book. I think I've had my phone about a month. Since we've been using all these QR codes, I had to buy a smartphone just so that I could keep up and actually check all of the materials that we were doing. We just got a T-shirt for our staff. I love Towson because, and you can write why. And there's a QR code on the sleeve that says scan me. So the first thing I did today, it just came today, was get out my phone and make sure that the QR code takes them right to our website. So I thought that was cool. So next we have and I guess lastly, through MBS, they have a loyalty program. And I thought that was really cool. So I started investigating ways that we could give this to the students. So I went to one of my favorite stores. It's a shoe store that has a loyalty program. And for every shoe that you buy, you get, a point for every dollar. Well, I did just literally take their program. And if you look at our materials, this is almost exactly, except for it's Tiger Rewards. This is our mascot. But for every dollar that you spend, you get a point, and then in the far right-hand corner, you can see that you get gift cards that are to be used in our bookstore. It turns out to be about a 5% savings, or a 5% coupon that you get on your purchases, which is really amazing if you're spending $500 in textbooks. So how do we get this? How do we get this message out to the students? Well, at the point of sale, we speak to every single customer. We tried to make it really easy, and if you go back to the other slide, you have to make it super easy. We didn't do a card, although that's an option in the future, maybe as a branding thing, but all I could think of is I've got 50 grocery store cards, and I don't know where one of them is. I'm using a phone number from like 5 houses ago. That I just type into the machine. So we decided just to use a phone number. We didn't want to use their student ID card because we wanted the community or parents or faculty to be able to use it. So it seemed like a phone number would be the easiest thing. We don't exclude anyone. Anyone can join. We share with everybody how to sign up. That postcard that is up here, we've just done a new one. It'll have a QR code that'll take you right to the Tiger Rewards website and sign up so that they can do it right there with their phones, which I thought was really cool. And then the redemption process is really easy. I've gotten, I don't know, I think I've gotten $50 in gift cards just buying stuff from the store. So it's really been a success since we started mid-January of this past year. And we have almost 5,000 members, and we've had about 10,000 points redeemed, which equals out to $500, which in 9 months is not a very big expense for us. I mean, $500, I'll take that. And we have over 1 million points, so I guess if everybody outstanding, I guess if everybody redeems them, it'll be a little bit more than $500, but I was pretty pleased with the numbers. So I guess my message is to be visible, be vocal, and be your community. You can impact your store by listening to your greatest allies and act on the visibility and the demands and needs of your customers. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Stacy. That was excellent. All I can say is go Tigers. Our next guest speaker is Mr. John Neal. Director of the Skidmore Shop at Skidmore College in Saratoga Springs, New York. Now, John grew up in retail. Both parents had locally owned businesses. John has worked for Skidmore College for 32 years. Thus, he's a young man. He's been at the Skidmore Shop for 5 years, and he is presently director of the bookstore and the associate director of business services. I give you Mr. John Neal.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Skidmore College. Skidmore is located in upstate New York in Saratoga Springs. We are a residential college of about 2,500 students, mostly undergraduate. And I want to talk a little bit and continue the theme that Stacy started in talking about how marketing and in particular how social media allows you to form relationships with your students that not only ensure your place on campus and help you sell products, but also help you through these difficult times that we're experiencing right now with textbooks. It all starts with your website. And at Skidmore, we have a nice website. There's nothing particular about it. It's well laid out, but it is the home base for all our social media. We have links on there for Twitter, for our blog site, for all the various different things that we use to communicate with students. Of course, it's a place where students can go to place their orders for textbooks as well as merchandise. And it's a good point for compiling all the information that we want to get out to students and to work from there. Twitter. Everyone's using Twitter. Every student out there has a cell phone in their pocket. 140 characters, but there are new ways to manipulate Twitter, to use social media to connect with your students. That phone is always in their pocket. They are always accessible. They are available to you virtually 24/7 if you choose. And Twitter is a very good means in which to get your message out to these students. You've heard people talk about QR codes, and here's an example of a QR code. This one actually takes you to our website, skidmoreshop.com. But we've used QR codes in a little different manner. Last fall, during buyback season, we worked with Wendy Gish and Kim Miner at MBS to develop a program, actually a scavenger hunt, that we did with our students. And this was one of the Buyback by Design posters. And we actually took 4 different ones of these. And as you can see, we embedded a QR code. And each one of those QR codes had a different little message in it, a different little clue to solve the scavenger hunt. We put 4 of these on posters that we scattered around campus. We put 1 QR code poster in the dining room that was separate. We didn't put anything on it. We just put the QR code there. We put 1 on our website, and we used one of the student blog sites to dispense the other QR code. What they all did was when the student came back into buyback to sell us back their books, if they had the messages, had the clues from the QR codes, then we gave them the final code, which was an entry form into a drawing. And the drawing was for 2 $250 gift certificates for purchase of textbooks here at the shop for the next semester. It generated a tremendous amount of buzz. It was a lot of fun. QR codes are a great way to go. They're inexpensive. You can find translators on the web for free. And most people can buy an application for their smartphone to read QR codes for either free or maybe a nominal 99-cent fee. But it's an interesting way to generate some excitement and to encourage your students to participate with you. Foursquare. Foursquare is something we used last spring, and it's kind of a cross between your smartphone and a GPS. And you can go into a participating business or area that is using Foursquare, and you check in on your smartphone. What it does is the person that checks in the most times in any given period of time, and we used 1 week, so the individual that had checked in at the Skidmore shop on Foursquare the most times in any week became the mayor. And for being mayor, we gave you some perks. We gave you a free candy bar a day, we gave you a discount on some of your purchases, and it was just a fun, interactive way to engage the students, to get them to come into the shop, to generate a little buzz around campus about some of the things we were doing. Tumblr. Tumblr is a relatively new blog site that allows you to do a lot of different things. You can post audio, you can post video, you can post photos, various different types of media on a blog site. But what Tumblr also does is allow you to cross over from your blog site to postings on your Twitter site, to postings on your Facebook site. So by going to Tumblr and posting your blog, you're also communicating with these other ways that you can reach your students. So we can do a post on Tumblr, a student gets a tweet, and they're probably sitting in class, but they instantaneously know that there is something going on at the shop. From their Twitter site, they can link back into the Tumblr site to read the whole post. It's just a real fun, easy way to connect with our students. The thing about social media is that it takes time. It takes a tremendous amount of time. And it takes somebody with the savvy and the skill set to keep up with what's going on campus, to be able to write these things in a way that capture people's attention and generate some excitement. So the question here is, who's your Bob? Well, Bob happens to be the individual at Skidmore who does this for us. He's our computer salesperson. He's also in charge of our social media and works a lot on our marketing programs with us. And you need a Bob. And this is our Bob. And the picture says it all. He is a gregarious, fun individual. In fact, someone on the blog site the other day named him the social butterfly Bob, and that is completely appropriate. And to Bob's credit, the blog, the Skidmore Shop blog, has become one of the best read blog sites on the Skidmore campus. It's featured prominently on the college's main page underneath the social media tab, and we have generated countless traffic to our site and interest in our store based on what we've been doing with the blog and what Bob does on a day-to-day basis. This is what the site actually looks like, and these are some of the posts that we do. If you get a chance, I would strongly encourage you to go in and take a look at some of them. They range from Bob's adventures at the Washington County Fair to talking about different events that are happening on campus. There is even some pictures of campus with a lot of cats, and without looking at it, it's hard to explain, but when you see it, you'll scratch your head and you'll go, what does this have to do with a bookstore? And the simple answer is it has nothing to do with a bookstore. What it has to do is engaging students and how we get those students to keep up with us, understand what's going on, engage with us in a way that we make things fun for them. Back in February, the Skidmore News, which is a local student newspaper, published an editorial, and we were the feature of it. And it's not often that you get headlines in the student newspaper that reads, "The Skidmore Shop just gets it." And that was the headline of the day. And we were all extremely proud. We still are very proud of that headline. And I think that kind of sums up what we're trying to do here. We're trying to engage the students in a way that's different than we typically would with a store, to bring them into what's going on here, to create some excitement, so that when we get into these difficult times with textbooks and other things that aren't as much fun, we've got some credits in the bank that we can use with our students to keep them actively engaged with us. Skidmore Unofficial is a student-run blog site. Again, it's run by students. It's unedited by any authority at the college. They feel pretty free to say what they think about what's going on. We get many posts from them. They've all been good. Again, it's reassuring for us, but it's also students talking to students and students listening to students. And when you can get positive press from the students that other students are reading, it's the best marketing there could possibly be. We use logos, and I think logos are a very interesting way to get your message out. As you can see on this one, the Skidmore Shop, it's very simple, it's very quickly, easily noticeable, but we also have the little in the corner there that take pride, which makes people stop and think, you know, are we proud to be Skidmore? What is it about Skidmore that it makes it such a special place? And we just want to keep reminding people that Skidmore is a special place and that the Skidmore Shop is a special place. And sometimes adding little tidbits in there in your logo can really connect with that. Here's another one that we use, and recycling is big on all our campuses. And just by simply replacing the O with the recycled logo, we've created a different message. In the background, we've got students thinking a little bit differently about what we're doing here. And I think it conveys a very important message to them that we care about the environment and we care about the issues that they care about. Most of these things are done by student workers for us. Every year we hire a student specifically to do marketing. And we go through the process and we look at their portfolio and we interview them and we see what they've done in the past. And we just recently had we were about 2 weeks into our classes, so we just had a new marketing student start with us. And one of the first things I always challenge them to do is to come up with a new logo, a new design for us. And as we were talking, she made mention to me that most of the students refer to us as the skid shop. And we've done that for years, but we've never done it in a formal way. And as we thought about it and talked about it, if the students are referring to us as the skid shop, why don't we create an identity around that? And so this is just some early design work that she has done. And as you can see in the middle there, we are prominently featuring the skid shop, talking to the students in their language and their lingo so that they understand that we understand and want to talk with them. This is a poster that we designed with the help of Wendy and Kim. It is actually a 33-inch wide by 82-inch tall, one of those roll-up banners that we display prominently in the Skidmore shop during textbook sales, but we also use it when we go out on location. And I think it creates an identity. The students get familiar with seeing this. So when we go out into the dining hall to do a buyback, or we go out into one of the other buildings to do an event, we take this poster with us, this banner with us. And I think it helps create that connection back to the shop so that students instantaneously recognize, oh, that's the Skidmore shop. And I think it helps them feel comfortable as they know who we are. It's very clear what the message is. We've got the books in there. It's MBS, it's Skidmore shop. And it's an inexpensive, good way to brand and keep your identity in the front of the students. Forrest. Forrest is an interesting character. He's a yellow lab. He belongs to a lady that works here on Skidmore campus with us. He comes and visits us every few weeks. I've got a great backstory. He's a Katrina rescued dog. And students just love dogs. And we bring Forrest in, and he wanders around the store for the day, and we're students sitting on the floor petting him. We see parents with him. And he's taken over a prominent piece of what we are doing here at Skidmore shop. Here. I know you're all groaning when you read this slide. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday nights open until 7. After talking with students a couple years ago, we realized that we needed to find a way to engage them when they were out of classes at their leisure time. 5 to 7 in the evening seemed to be the correct time to do that, so we made the decision to stay open. It's not necessarily a profitable time for us, but it's a time that we can do things directly geared towards our students. We can change the radio station to the college station. We can turn up the music a little bit louder. We can do some things that we normally wouldn't do when we had adult units in the house. And I think the students appreciate that, and they're very responsive to it. Saratoga Apple is a local orchard that every Friday visits us. We set them up in front of the Skidmore shop from 11 to 4. It's kind of a mini farmer's market, but it's something that folks on campus have come to expect and associate with us. And even though it's probably not a real profitable item for us, it does create a lot of buzz on campus, and it's one more thing that brings people to us on a regular basis to engage in the greater community. Let's see if we get back up here one. Back in 2009, the big catchword was change we can believe in. Barack Obama had just taken over as president. We do an annual fashion show here at Skidmore College, and one of our marketing students came to us and said, let's do something called change of clothes we can believe in. So through the magic of Photoshop, we shortly thereafter had Barack Obama in a Skidmore College sweatshirt, and he was featured prominently that year in our fashion show. And the Obama you see here is actually a life-size cutout that we did on a wide-body printer. We glued it to foam board, cut it out, and it was a freestanding cutout of Obama that resided, after the fashion show, resided in the front of the Skidmore shop. And we had students coming in and taking their picture with it. We had families, as they came in for admissions events, would stand and get their picture taken at Skidmore College with the president in a Skidmore College sweatshirt. It was something that was easy. It didn't cost us a lot of money. It was a lot of fun. And at the end of it, we raffled these off for $1 a shot, with the proceeds going to charity, and we allowed the winner to pick the charity to which the proceeds went to. Just an item that was a lot of fun for us. Keeping with the fashion show, because this is one of the feature events we do every year. Next door to us, we have a dining room, a large dining room. We set up a catwalk. In the background, you can see the screen where we do some screenshots up there. We get about 15 student employees, students to volunteer to be models for us. And we do a full-blown fashion show. As you can see, we fill the house up. We get dining services involved. They do some food and other events. Every year we design a T-shirt, and the models wear the T-shirt for the runway. In this slide, you can see the lady holding the dog, the Newfoundland, is actually the manager of our post office. The redhead you may notice, some of you may know her. That's Barbara Herron, long-term director of the Skidmore shop, and her husband Bob behind her. And the 3 individuals on the right-hand side are members of the dining services management team. And the students really enjoy seeing other people from Skidmore that they associate with it on a day-by-day basis doing some of these fun things. It's held in the evening and the off hours, and it just becomes a lot of fun for everyone. And we partnered with Apple on it last year, and they had given us some marketing things, and we gave away 5 different Apple products, ranging from a $25 iTunes card to an iPad. And as you can see in the background, the very exuberant young man holding up the iPad that he had just won. The gentleman in the front with the microphone, that would be our Bob. And to the right, the young lady with the blue is Kim Miner, who is our MBS rep. And you may ask, what does a fashion show have to do with textbooks? Well, Kim was there playing Vanna White to Bob throughout the fashion show and the little game we played there. But she also took the opportunity to talk a little bit to the students about buyback, and to also tout the fact that we were doing the QR code program and contest for buyback and the $250 gift certificate program that we had going on. So you can cross-market on a lot of these things and really enhance the, well, you've got the students here in a fun format. It's a lot easier to sell them. And marketing can take on a lot of different forms. And, you know, this type of marketing, the little brother, buying him a Skidmore hat for Christmas, just looking at different ways to get your message out and to engage your students. And this last one just happens to be one of my favorite posters. It was done for us by a student who worked for us as a marketing student. And the color and the balance, and it's for an art sale, and it just fit together perfectly. And this is just an example of how you can utilize your students to sell your products and your goods to other students, and to create that buzz on campus that pays back in so many positive ways. And last but not least, you've heard others talk about Verba, and we embarked on the Verba program late this summer, actually the 1st of August, and it has gone very well. And in fact, we're still early. We've only been in class for a couple weeks, but I do believe this is going to be a very good semester for us in terms of textbook sales. And I think doing these other things and learning how to engage students and building those relationships with students allows us the opportunity when we get in these difficult times and we're trying to roll out new programs and new items like the Verba, gives us the goodwill in the bank with our students. It really allows us to connect with them on a level where they support us and we support them. Really, going back to that Skidmore News, that student newspaper article, you know, one of the lines of that was, we applaud how the store has at every stage tried to become a real resource for students. I mean, that says it all. That's what we're here for, is to be a resource for them, to help them be successful. They also said the Skidmore shop has gone well beyond its role as a campus store to become an extension of student life. That's really why we're here. That's why we do all this stuff. That's our reward. quite frankly, I can't think of a better one. Thank you all for listening. Thank you all for the opportunity to talk to you today. I'd love to hear some of your ideas. Our contact information will be at the back. Thanks so much.
Thank you, John. That's great. Makes me want to get back in retail. In closing, I want to thank everybody, including all three of our presenters, and your ideas are really great ones. All of these can become gems which will be handed down from time to time. One point that comes out in most of these is that if you have a desire, sincere desire in your heart to take care of your student customers, then the bottom line will take care of itself. By the way, may all your books be used. Thank you very much for your participation in today's webinar.